traveling back in time to the rendezvous in the fur trade. Come join us.
Fait bâtir maison. Fringa, sur l'Aveyron.
Sur la riviera, sur l'Aveyron.
Hello, my name is Kate Winslow, and I'm a reporter for the History Channel. We have gone back in time to the fur trade era. We are here in Grand Portage at the rendezvous, and I'm going to interview a young voyager about his experience in the fur trade. First, we are here with Pierre Cluseau, a Métis voyager from the fur trade. Pierre, how was your life before the fur trade adventure?
I am French. Life was great back home. Very boring, but still good. We were a middle-class family, so we still got by. My father was a missionary, so he was often gone. I was a great manual worker back home. I was well known in my hometown.
Your life sounds great. Why would you move away to join the fur trade?
Well, I moved away because my life was good and all, but there was no wild factor, no adventure.
What was your job during the fur trade?
I was a voyager on the boat. I was a steersman. A very important job during the fur trade. I was in charge of steering the canoe, which was difficult because the bowsman was not very loud because the rapids were so loud. The commands were hard to hear.
Rock ahead! Steer right! Steering right! Rock ahead! Steer left!
Steering left!
What were you provided with in the beginning of the fur trade?
I was provided with pants, a shirt, a blanket, trade goods, and some tobacco.
How did you feel about other people in the fur trade, and how was their job different than yours?
Well, I was good friends with the trader, a very popular, very rich trader during the fur trade. He bought many pelts. He died only a few months ago, but he will always be remembered as a great trader during the fur trade.
That's too bad he died. So, what type of clothes were typical for a voyager to wear?
Well, we wore pants and a cotton shirt, both breathable for when you're working hard. We also wore a sash and a hat. Voyagers typically had bright colors on their hats and the sash. For shoes, we wore moccasins, which mostly kept water out and kept my feet warm.
À Saint-Malo, port de mer. À Saint-Malo, port de mer. La Grenadier Paris.
Maybe someday I could save up all my earnings for a while and I could own a beaver pelt hat, the ultimate social status sign.
What were some items the Europeans borrowed from the natives?
Well, the natives taught us how to build canoes that were the best for the kind of work we were doing. They also taught us about moccasins, which really helped during the fur trade.
How would you decide whether to portage or paddle through the rapids?
Well, there were consequences to both. If we decided to portage, our men would get very, very tired. If we decided to paddle, our canoe could break, and since hardly anyone knew how to swim, it would be dangerous. The boss would probably decide to portage because there's a smaller risk of men dying, so he would choose that option.
This is an example of portaging.
How would you patch your canoe after a long trip of rough waters and portaging?
We would patch our canoe by using bark for patching, spruce root for repairing seams, and spruce gum for making the seams watertight.
So your friend the trader, did he have a wife?
Yes. Shortly after the fur trade began, he got married to a native woman named Tori. They loved each other, but it was a setup marriage.
Now that we've heard that there are other benefits to Europeans marrying a native, could you share some of that with me?
Yes. Well, as we loved and appreciate Tori, the original purpose of the marriage was so he could have a better connection with the natives. The people could have more trust in him. And we could have had a better experience during the fur trade, trading pelts and other goods because of their relationship. Their marriage has helped them form. Yes, and it isn't all about the men either. The women played an important role in the fur trade. They helped repair goods like canoes, and we cleaned and they cleaned, scraped, and dried the pelts.
Sounds like women's jobs are very important as well. It's too bad that hardly any of the women's history has been recorded. Well, on to our next question. What were some of the events that occurred during the rendezvous?
Well, half of it was like a celebration, and the other half was strict business. We play-fought and joked with each other, but also counted and recorded trade items and pelts. The clerks and traders were also working and buying during the rendezvous.
One country dominates the fur trade after 1812. Which country would you have to be a citizen of if you still wanted to be part of the fur trade?
You would have to be American.
Well, that's all the time we have for now. Thanks to Pierre for participating and answering all of our questions. This was Kate Winslow from the History Channel, live from the Grand Portage. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Mon père a fait bâtir maison, fringue, fringue sur l'Aveyron.
Sur l'Orient.
Okay, stop. The natives taught us how to build canoes that were the best of the kind of work.
First, we're here with Pierre Cluseau, a Métis voyager. Oh, I gotta stop laughing! One country dominates the fur trade by after 1812. Which country would you have been a citizen if you wanted to live on the fur trade?
What country is it? I couldn't find this one.
America!